Welcome back to another MOTOBOB video where you join me again at Superbike Factory, one of the biggest used motorcycle shops in the UK, and we're here today to find the best naked motorcycles under £5,000. I've really been looking forward to shooting this one because you know they're going to be fun bikes to ride, fast, comfy and perfect for the road. So in this video we're going to have a look around the showroom. I'll pick out the three that catch my eye, take them all for a spin, and at the end I'll tell you which one was my favourite. Let's go! But before we get started, a massive thanks to Superbike Factory. Firstly, for giving me access to their bikes to make this video, and secondly, for sponsoring the channel. No need for a hard sell here, you can see for yourself the depth and variety of their stock, and there are links in the description where you can buy pretty much any of the bikes in this video. They'll deliver nationwide, some of the bikes for free, and then you've got 14 days to send it back if you don't like it. Anyway, onto the shop floor to have a look at what we can get for £5,000. The nice thing about the naked category is we've got lots of variety, so I'm determined to get a twin, a triple and an inline four. And the obvious choice when it comes to a twin would be the Ducati Monster, but unfortunately these are just out of budget. There is an 1100 here for about £5,500, but the rest of them go 6, 7, 8, and so I think I'll have to keep looking for another two-cylinder bike. Now an inline 4 is going to give you that really sporty, revvy feel, and they're super smooth as well. And there is quite a bit of choice here from the major manufacturers. Now BMW S1000R would be amazing, but they're sort of 8 or 9 grand. And so realistically, I think we're looking at one of the Japanese manufacturers. These Suzukis, for example, the 1000, the 750s, these are coming in at around 6 grand, which is much closer to budget. And we've got a few more to choose from down here as well, so I'm sure I'll find something. Now with the triples, you got two choices really, MV Agusta or Triumph. I don't really think we're gonna find an MV Agusta for £5,000, but fortunately there are absolutely shed loads of Triumph Roadsters here, and the real question is, do we go street triple or speed triple? Realistically, you're probably gonna get a lower mileage, better condition street triple for the money, but it is hard to resist that extra power and performance you get with the speed. Now, although that £5,000 limit does whittle the field down massively, I still managed to get an Italian V-twin, and with a few £100 to spare. This, my friends, is the Aprilia Shiver. Now, this particular example was registered in 2016, so not that old given the price, and mileage isn't bad either at just under 13,000. But to be honest, it's not going to be the spiciest bike of the day. It tops out at 95 horses peak, and it's got a fairly relaxed riding position, but you know, it's in budget, ticks the V-twin box, it's Italian, and it looks quite cool, so I thought it was definitely worth taking for a spin. But what was it actually like out on the road? I actually found this one to be a really nicely balanced road bike. It's got a comfortable riding position, you're not too far forward, and although it's not the most powerful and I certainly wanted a bit more from the brakes, the suspension is nicely set up considering it's non-adjustable. I thought it handled really nicely and it's plenty agile enough to be good fun on the twisty roads we've got around here. And then also I think this one has had like a decat or something because the soundtrack is incredible. It's also fairly practical as well. You've got a decent pillion seat here with some chunky grab rails. You've got a rack, and I think it's actually rather nice looking. It's certainly distinctive. You don't see a great deal of them on the road. And there are some nice design features. I like the look of the bodywork. I like the offset shock here. And also this swing arm looks pretty smart. I think it makes for a nice looking package. Onto the three-cylinder bike, and indeed I couldn't resist the extra brawn of the Speed Triple 1050. This one's a 2010 model, so a fair bit older than the Aprilia, and with about double the miles on it too. But it beats it in almost every regard. It's got about 35 horses more power, 25 Nm more peak torque, suspension is fully adjustable, there are better spec'd Brembo brakes, a taller seat height for a more sporty riding position, and yet the dry weight is identical at 189 kilograms. kilograms. So this one should be a walkover, right? Now I've got to be honest with you, I've never ridden a 1050 Speed Triple before, but I've been really dying to try one out. People say that they're such good road bikes because they're lively and fun and quick, but at the same time they're comfortable and fairly easy to get on with, and I'd have to agree based upon what I experienced at this one today. It's much more lively on the throttle than the Aprilia. There's a lot more power there. The ride's a little bit firmer and biased more towards sporty handling. The brakes are a little bit better, and also the riding position a little more aggressive for that quicker riding. Now this bike benefits from a pair of Leo Vince slip-ons, and the soundtrack is also quite lively. What you don't get so much from me just revving it on the forecourt here is just how much it pops and burbles as you decelerate on the road, and I thought it sounded fantastic. Now on to the inline four, and it was Kawasaki that came through with the Z1000. This is the oldest bike on the list from 2006, but the mileage isn't too bad at 13,000. The 953cc engine ought to give it that proper sports bike feel, and it certainly has the aggressive looks too, but can it match the Triumph for thrills? Now, I don't know if you agree with me, but I think this is just a fantastic looking bike. Lots of drama going on, lots of angles, lots of slanted forward, aggressive bodywork, and it's finished off with what I reckon has to be one of the best ever looking production exhaust systems. Now, unfortunately, the sound doesn't quite match the looks. It's the least exciting one to listen to. Actually sounds all right when you get it right up to 10,000 revs like that, but in the mid-range when you're riding on the road, it's just not got quite as much character as the other two bikes. Performance-wise, there's no denying that this thing is blisteringly quick, especially if you wind it up, but a lot of the power is right up at the top end of the rev range. Now, if you are someone who likes to keep the engine singing and ride quite quickly, then this will probably be the most exciting of the bunch, but I think personally I prefer the sort of balance and mid-range and usability of the Triple. I think that's the Kawasaki ruled out, so what about the other two? The Speed Triple, you've got plenty of choice here. They've got a lot of them in stock, and for good reason. It's such a great bike to ride, very fast and very fun. But you know, you will see quite a few of them on the road, and so if you want something that's a slightly alternative choice and you're less bothered about that out-and-out performance, then definitely take a look at the Aprilia. It's the one that surprised me the most today. I really did enjoy the engine, and I think if I could take one of them off now for a few more hours of riding, it'd be this one. So a bit of a surprise winner there for me, but I'd love to know which one you'd pick down in the comments below. And if you're new to this series, then you might enjoy the first episode, the best retros under 5K, which you can watch by clicking the link on the screen now.